Hello, Brother Monroe here. Welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. The campaign has been progressing in the background. There's a few things to mention which I'll talk about later, but we have some ships to build. I do also have the super battleship hulls, but I kind of want to get access to good 18-inch or possibly 17-inch guns, so that I can build something a little bit more to my taste. But for now, we have the experimental battleship. We have a new heavy cruiser. I'm going to build a super cruiser, and I'm also going to build a destroyer, because I've had quite a lot of text. Now, I've been fiddling around with this hull off camera, and it's really awkward, because what I would want to do immediately on seeing that there are two barbettes is to go A, B, X, Y duels. The problem is this forward position will not let me do it with a 16-inch gun. I can, however, get a triple 15-inch gun on here. So this is the setup I'm going to go for. I'm going to go for an ABXY triple. Now we do have another ship with the 15-inch gun. That's the Condorcet the Third, or Condorcet 3, or just Condorcet. But the Chartreuse is our 16-inch gun version. So we're going to have another 15-inch armed ship. And I think to compensate for the fact we don't have quite as punchy a gun, the French have decided to put on more guns, kind of the American style of thinking. I was just curious if I could mount a barbette back here for a secondary, but it doesn't seem that I can. Other thing to do, of course, we're going to go and change all this. Really? There we go. Now, in terms of the guns, I think 15-inch 45s are probably going to be my best bet. And get that nice high rate of fire. There we go. 15-inch 45s have a rate of fire of 1.3 rounds per minute, and that's about right for me. Then secondary guns, I'm actually thinking the 6-inch triples can fit one up here. Probably squeeze one in there if I move the turret, if I move the towers forward a bit. Yep. And then I'll try and squeeze one in here. And possibly one in there. No. But still, that's a reasonable kind of proper secondary armament of 9 6-inch guns either side. And then I think let's go for some 4-inch. No, they don't fit. 3-inch? Yeah, let's go for 3-inch triples. Kind of liberally spread around. I think that'll do. So that we have, yeah, we've got the 3 layers of firepower. Now then, I'm going to steer away from turbo-electric drives. This is because when I was designing the ships with turbo drives, I was in the position where I had loads of money, but of course I'm playing this and updates come out, and in I think it was 108.3, possibly I'm on .4 now. The maintenance costs of your ships was put through the roof, and turbo-electric ships being super expensive, really suffering on that. So I'm going to stick with the double-geared steam turbines, which are new. I didn't have them before, but we'll go with those. I'm going to max out all the protection I can. Now, I could go for a turtleback scheme here. That is a new tech, and I never really build turtleback ships, so why not? The French would experiment, I feel, with whatever they happen to have dreamt up. I also have super heavy shells. No radar yet. But I do have the Coincidence 5 rangefinder, which means that probably between this episode and the next one, I'm going to bring in pretty much everything for some form of refit. So that's kind of what I'm thinking of. And then I just need to armour it up. Now, a 15-inch gun, I'd like to go for... going for 20 is probably excessive. Go for 18, 9, and 18, and 16, 8 belt. Now this is a turtleback ship, so I'm trying to think. I don't think I'll be able to go all the way up to 8 on. Oh, I can. 4. Let's go for 4 on the superstructure. 18 on the tower. Inner belt 8, then 4, and inner deck 4. No, way too heavy. 3 and 1.5, maybe? No. 0.8, that's fine. Oh, I should have made these longer. It's going to send me overweight. 6-inch guns. They don't need that much armour, surely. Yeah, 5.4 all over. Probably fine. There we go. Now, I didn't check her speed at all, which is a bit silly of me. Now, I could push it to 33 knots, but our other moderns are at 31, so I'd like to go for that. See, this is where turtleback is just so heavy. I reckon Citadel 3 will be lighter. Yeah. Turtleback is just so blinking heavy. It's unreal. I'm going to tone down the superstructure, make that only 2. Turn down the inner deck armour as well. There we go. Let's just go for 2-inch. Get the second inner layer up a little bit. There we go. She's still pretty expensive at 187, 188 million, but not too bad. I do have a bit of an aft weight offset, which is a little bit surprising. I'm going to reduce this down to a 1/2 inch. I don't think there's too much you can do about an half-weight offset. I was assuming I was going to have a 4-weight offset, not an half-weight offset. Tuck that right in, and we can push forward turret out, but yeah, it's not going to balance. I'd rather keep it relatively tucked. We're just going to have a bit of an aft weight offset, I'm afraid. That's just the way of it. It's an awkward hull, this. But I don't think the ship actually looks too bad. Not my favourite by any means, but definitely experimental. Yeah, I'm not sure about this design, to be honest. It looks very weird. Oh well, I'm sure she'll do well. She ended up being called the democracy. Or the democracy. Very good. Alright, let's save that one. And I'm also going to build a supercruiser on the new modern heavy cruiser 2 hull, because I now have access to a rather interesting weapon system. The 11-inch Mark V, and this doesn't fit up here, so I'm going to go for an ABX triple. And these have pretty good rate of fire already, so I'm actually thinking about making them long guns. 69 is probably, yeah, 69s are too much. But I could make them 60s. 58, 59, 60s. 1.91. Oh, we could maybe go to 65 then. Yeah, 1.5 rounds a minute. Perfect. Okay. Yes, we'll do that. And then I think 4-inch guns, because I think we can get one there. Oh yeah, I meant to do the usual French thing. So there's about one there, and one. Yeah, one kind of in here. Something like that. And then 2-inch guns. Oh, I can actually fit quads, but I'm going to go for triples. So that I have, again, a kind of 3-layered system of firepower, and length from the secondary guns. There we go. Now, this is gonna probably not be the fastest ship in the world. And because I haven't unlocked balanced boilers yet, smoke interference is a little bit higher than I would like. But, oh, okay, she can already do 34 knots. It's impressive. .34 then. How does that compare to the Jules Michelet? Ah, 34 as well. Perfect. I kind of want her to supplement the Jules Michelet, our 9-inch gun cruiser. I won't build very many of these, probably just 5. But I think they'll be a handy addition, because we can't build too many battle cruisers, because being a capital ship, they have to be unique. Whereas I can build some of these. Again, I don't like going with turtleback, but we'll try it. But super heavy 11-inch shells can be pretty punchy, so I'm hoping these things will also be able to deal with enemy battleships, because, I mean, let's face it, the AI tends to build fairly trash battleships. So I want a 12-inch main belt, 6-inch deck, probably just 2-inch on the extended bits. Yeah, this is going to be too heavy on a turtleback scheme. I don't like turtleback. Stick with that one. One experiment is enough. Oh, Excuse me, didn't get to my microphone in time. I'm going to go 14.7. I'm going to go down to my ox diesels as well. Batteries are too heavy. I'd like to go for 3. And I know I'm massively overweight. I'm going to have to come back and deal with something. That's how I'd like to armour her. 9% overweight though, that's quite a bit. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to armour up that much. So let's go for 2-inch on the less important bits. Gets it down a bit. Am I going down to 5 on the main deck? Yeah, a little bit. What about dropping? Don't really want to drop speed too much. And it doesn't give me as much back as I would like. I could make her only 30 knots, but... oh, range will get me under. Yes. If I drop 1 notch of range, it's still okay at 10,000. Yeah, I'll go for that. And then I just need to sort out the offset that the ship has. Ugh, it's going to mean rearranging the secondary guns annoyingly. It does still fire. %. That is acceptable. Yeah, I'm gonna have to live with the 1%. 1.7% offset. It's small enough. If you're wondering what that actually does, where is it? Here. So you're talking about less than 1% actual effect on the ship, but I think that is that's a pretty nasty little thing. I mean, historically speaking, a 34 knot ship with 9 11-inch guns and armour like that would be considered quite the threat. And at 55 million, yeah, they're only just a little bit more than the Jules Michelets, and they're a hell of a lot less than a battle cruiser. No, not the Alsace, because she's a much older ship, but where's one of the more recent ones? Oh no, she's actually she's similar price to the Richelieu. But cheaper than the Jeanne d'Arc, so yeah, I'm happy with that. Save that one too, and then last design is a modern destroyer. Now I have 10 destroyers in service and 20 in kind of mothballs. We've got a 2-inch, a 3-inch, and a 4-inch armed destroyer. I'm thinking of replacing all of them with this new design, which is going to be a 5-inch armed ship. I think 8 5-inch guns should be fine. These 5 inches have an excellent rate of fire, so I'm going to make them long. Yeah, very nice. 4 rounds a minute still. I think they'll have quite a lot of punch, and they kind of sit. It's going to be basically a less well protected version of the destroyer class light cruiser, and I think they will work very well together with the destroyer class light cruisers, which are basically our destroyer leaders. So yeah, let's get the rest of us set up. Standard, drop this, drop that, increase this. Oil. We'll try and bring batteries on her, because that's quite a nice thing to have if you can afford the weights. We do have a bit of smoke. How fast are our current destroyers actually? So this should have checked. 37 for the darts, 38 for the lance grenades. The destroyer leaders are 34, and the Typhons 38. So I want to be able to do 38. Can I do that? Yes, I can. With a smaller funnel. Lovely. So a little tiny funnel. Shove that back there, and just wondering if it fit twin torpedo launchers in. I could. I don't think I want to. I think I'll just go for the one. And yes, I know I can stick this on a barbette so that it can fire over the depth charge launcher, but I'm not going to worry about that too much. Yeah, put the Tuppy launcher right in the middle, and that means I have room to make it bigger, and later on we can replace it with a quintuple or something when I get access to it. Right, for barbette protection, stick on max HE. I like going with reduced on destroyers in terms of their ammo, because they tend not to fire the damn things. We'll go with increased torps, because why not? It's already got maximum bulkheads, very nice. Armour. How thick can we make this? 2.7, okay. Actually, ship is overweight by 5%. I'll stick them with the 5 inch. I was thinking maybe going 5.9s, because that might have been somewhat amusing. But I think I'd rather have it protected. Yeah, because you're making complete bricks. I think that's a bit better. See if we can get the ship to be a bit neater or more balanced. There we go. I'm happy with that. And leave some spare tonnage for radar and sonar and things like that. This will definitely get refitted as we go, and there's not too much I can do in terms of reducing her weight. So it's going to be a case of adding things to her. So I don't want to push her right up to the limit, but I think those should be pretty nasty destroyers, and a significant step up over what we already have, or at least that's the plan. By the way, I have noticed a bit of a problem sometimes with doing this and multiple designs. Doesn't look like it's gonna have a problem, but if you do have a problem with the game doing multiple designs and then basically it crashes or it never loads back into the world, just do one design at a time to get around it. But if you do see it, please report it with the report bug button/command. It's Control J, and make sure you send that in, because that is something I know can be really frustrating, particularly if you're doing a campaign start. Right, the democracy, or the democratie, we'll build one of her. Strasbourg class supercruisers, I'm going to build 5. The thing is, how many destroyers do I build? This will leave us with 15 heavy cruisers. I think I'm going to build a couple more destroyer leaders, so we have 5. These ones. And then I think if we've got 5 destroyer leaders, if we order 20 destroyers, then each destroyer leader could go out with a group of 4 destroyers for a full squadron of 5. Not that the game will let me, do that, but that's the plan. So I'm going to build 20 of these. The Mamelukes, and those are going to replace all of our current destroyers, including the ones that I have kind of mothballed. In fact, you'll see I've got quite a lot of the fleet mothballed. So you're thinking, why is he only got 7 battleships? That's why. So this is more of a replacement than anything. And yes, my monthly balance is now terrible, but that is because I'm building a bunch of ships to replace current vessels. How are things going politics-wise, you ask? Well, Britain and Germany are still at war with each other. Britain is also at war with Austria-Hungary, who is coming back to the German sphere of influence. The British are running around with a massive fleet. The German fleet is also pretty big. And they have absolutely tons in their naval funds. Everybody does. I'm not sure quite how that has happened, but everybody's running around with masses of money. So it doesn't look like anyone's going to collapse out of the game anytime soon. The only thing I can spot that's maybe a problem is the crew pool for the British is 4, which is not a lot. The other thing that's weird is the tech says I'm very advanced, Britain's very advanced, Germany's very advanced, and Austria-Hungary is just advanced. But I would have thought that if very advanced, if there are 3 very advanced, then wouldn't we be average? And Austria-Hungary is below average. I think this is where you are in the timeline. So your techs have a lot of the techs have a date on them. Like this one, 1923. I think we're maybe overall ahead of where we should be. I mean, I have super battleships and stuff. Yeah, I think that's what it's recording. So I am going to try and get the Mark III 17 or possibly Mark III 18-inch guns, so I can start building some super battleships, because I do have them unlocked. Those 2 designs. Where are they? Going to new design. I could build them with 16s and get them into service quicker. But we're not. So I've got this one and I've got this one. But these are the last 2 battleship hulls I'm going to unlock. I'll unlock a bunch of battlecruiser hulls, but these are the last 2 battleship hulls I'm going to get, so I'd like them to have 17 or 18-inch guns rather than the 16s, because yeah, otherwise I'm going to lock myself out of having those big gun ships. And we definitely have, I think, the advantage in big guns and battleship design and all the rest of it. But yes, there you go. That's the current state of the game. I'm going to keep going through the peacetime stuff, and I will be back either when I'm doing some more designs or when a war breaks out. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you again soon for some more Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. Bye for now.